Welcome to Çeşme, the land of bougie beach clubs, yachts we can't afford, and cocktails that cost more than our hotel back in Izmir. But guess what? We're not here to spend like millionaires, we are here to survive on a budget. From secret beaches that the rich kids don't know about, to full meals for the price of parking your scooter. We're doing Çeşme on the cheap and cheerful way. The sunscreen is optional, but the sun is mandatory. Let's do this.
Welcome to the city of Çeşme and Çeşme Castle, everybody. This is just about a 1 hour bus ride away from Izmir, so we decided to do a little bit of a day trip in order to get those holiday feelings going and also explore Çeşme a little bit more and check out these beautiful views from the castle around here.
Bloody hot. It's scorching out. And the heat, the midday heat is just reflecting off of all these bloody stones. I appreciate the history, but my Irish skin doesn't appreciate the sun. Not one bit. I'm gonna look like Barney the dinosaur by the end of today. Oh wow, look at that. Who knows what sort of rich twat is floating around in his little boat or his big boat over there, having a ball while we're up here walking around the castle trying to get a view.
When we arrived back to this part of the world, we had said that there's the one or the other place that we would like to see again because of how much we liked it, and Izmir and Çeşme both made it onto that list. Just very, very special places. And Çeşme Castle, where we are right now, is a super stunning old castle from the early 1500s, built by the Ottomans, so it's very special to be here and actually see it all still standing. If you have seen our last video in Izmir, Kadifekale Castle, still standing, not so much standing anymore, kind of in between, and this here is very much upkept and beautifully kept, renovated and so on, but of course you also have to pay entry in order to enter this castle. Now as a local, I believe you pay 50 tele, just about €1. As a foreigner, €6, which is okay, I suppose.
Right away you can see the proper contrast here between history and modernness. So you've got modern Çeşme right here in front of us. Some of these rooftops legitimately are coming up to the same level as the top tower of the castle here. So you have people living in these apartments with the same view that the Ottoman sultans would have built this castle for back in the day. 1508 this castle was built by a sultan of the Ottomans, and wow, I have to say it's quite the work of art. Oh, I can barely even touch the walls though without burning my hand. And off here in the distance you have like some sort of a hill where there's some telecommunication towers, but up there I can imagine the view is even better. Big Turkish flag. But here you can see down below all of the modern cafes, and there's all of the different touristy places along the water where everybody comes to Çeşme to go to. Hopefully today we're going to show you a little bit more of an authentic, a different side to Çeşme. We figured there's no better place to start this video off than right here at the top of Çeşme Castle.
And now looking around here at this wall, for example, you can very clearly see what parts were renovated and probably kind of lying there for a while probably destroyed by time. And oh yeah, from here you can actually see it really well. So of course all of the white sort of stones, they're all the original stones, and then you can see this little arch here, the red bricks. That's very, very likely a renovation, and I kind of feel like I'm holding some sort of a speech standing here, just like, I don't know, telling the people what to do or something like. I'm pretty sure that this place was really not used for that, because it's more of sort of like a tower and a wall that you could look into the distance from in order to see enemies, but you really sort of feel like you're holding a speech here, like you're some sort of a important person.
It looks like an amphitheater.
I don't think that that's what it was used for. I think this wall here is more for kind of seeing the enemies come from the distance.
Yeah.
But it does look a little bit like it was made for that.
They have all the steps where I'm sure that different people probably sat at one time, and then whoever was making the speech was probably down below and just stood there shouting at people. If
this is actually the way it was designed, because it might be newly renovated. It kind of looks like cement. It might not necessarily be the original build of it all.
See how old some of these houses are. There's this house here directly in front of us. And
from here you can see it.
It looks like a very, very old house, like proper back to the 1800s, possibly even 1700s, and it's still standing.
These two here look like they're not in use anymore, though. Yep. All of the other ones around it look like they've
been renovated. Yeah.
Beautifully renovated and still in use. Very nice. Probably really expensive.
Oh yeah. So Çeşme has the reputation, believe it or not, as being Turkey's most expensive town, or one of them. So I think there's a list. I believe it's Çeşme, Antalya, Bodrum, Marmaris. But a lot of these places, they are obviously tourist hotspots, and that's one of the reasons why. But Çeşme, in terms of actual property value, is right up there with one of the most expensive places to live. And I'm sure, based on what you're looking at right now, you can see why. So there's a lot of millionaires, there's a lot of very, very wealthy, like I said earlier, twats that put their boats here and then they come on to the land and do whatever they want. But hey, it's very beautiful, and I see why they're interested in it.
From here, by the way, you can also take lots and lots. My alarm is currently going off. 1 second. Yeah, maybe one day I will find my phone. Oh, I found my phone. Yeah. Anywho, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, from here, I'm just saying it because I see a large boat arrive in the distance, sort of here to the right. You can actually take ferries from here to Greece, like anywhere in Greece, really. Obviously, the island of Chios. The island of Chios is just sort of just ahead of where we are standing right now, basically. And you can take ferries to Athens, everywhere in Italy, Bari, and so on. Yeah, just sort of different places that you can access from here. Of course, it will take you probably like, I don't know, a good 20 hours or something like that to get to Athens. So yeah, get ready for a long journey. It's probably also a little bit costly, but I'm sure it's a nice place to be, sort of for sunset and sunrise. If you take an overnight ferry, that would be really, really cool to see. Now, just to have mentioned it as well, because I was just talking about getting a ferry from here towards Chios. This piece of land that you see across here is Chios, and if you watched our last video where we've been talking to... Stop laughing! Video! If you watched our last video where we've been talking to lots of Syrians and Nigerians and so on that just sort of a little bit got stuck in Izmir, a lot of them used to actually go from here over to the island of Chios, because obviously over there is the EU. If you're a good swimmer, you might be able to even swim it. I don't know what the currents are like in this little strait. I'm sure there's lots of currents going on.
Depends how many Red Bulls they have.
Depends on the amount of Red Bull, yeah. Amount of Red Bull per square kilometer, you think? Yeah. Okay.
I think if you sink 2 or 3 in you can get across.
Okay. Now I think maybe if you get like a little bit of like a boat or something, I'm sure you can get across over there. But I think this specific migrant route as of 2025 is not super duper active.
Crete now.
Because yeah, the migrant route at the moment is from northern Africa to Crete by boat, from the sounds of it. So Lesbos and Chios, I think there's still lots of refugees arriving there, but it's not like the main access point, I suppose. But just to give you an idea of where these people get the ideas from, if you stand here and you're like, the EU's over there, and you're like, okay, that's not so far.
This here is the Barbaros Tower that's directly facing over the water. So you can imagine this is where the lads, the Ottomans, would have been attacking, or sorry, defending from invaders. So people that are coming on boats, probably actually crusaders. So people that are coming to the east, probably boats full of people from different parts of Europe that were coming and trying to attack the mighty Ottomans. And then all of the warriors here would have been lined up, firing whatever they could towards them, whether that be arrows or spears, or I have no idea, to be honest.
After a little bit of research, by the way, this castle was attacked several times, but not by the Crusaders. No, it was attacked by the Russians in 1770. From the looks of it, the Russians destroyed the entire naval base around here of the Turks, and then after it got attacked again by the Venetians. And some pirate raids happened around here as well, so there was definitely a strong reason to put Çeşme Castle up here as a defensive position.
I'm the captain now.
You're the captain now?
I'm the captain.
You paid entry, it's not like you took over. Even though from far away it really looks so nice around here, but for a second we were like, oh, maybe we can go for a little dip here, but then you look and it's like trash and trash and trash, and as far as you can see you keep seeing little bits and bobs of trash. I mean, it's still relatively clean-ish, I want to say. You can see fish swimming around here as well, so it's not super duper unhealthy, I suppose. But I think if you do want to go for a little dip, you probably have to go up, maybe around the corner or something like that, to the front where the tip of Çeşme is, basically, in order to not swim in between the garbage.
There isn't really too much going on in Çeşme, and that's something that Naomi and I love about this place. If you do go to Izmir and you want to escape, there's no better place. Quite literally only an hour away from the busy city of Izmir, you can come to somewhere like this. Plenty of history here, and I have to say, it's funny, but in the local, all these here are just local fishing boats, so like none of these boats here are particularly fancy, but the water here around the local fisher boats is spotlessly clean. But when you go to the fancy marina where there's like 5-10 million euro boats, just trash in the water and stuff like that, but here the water here is like practically crystal clear, so it's crazy to see the contrast. The local fishermen are a lot more respectful of the water, of course, because this is where they're catching the fish from.
Exactly, this is the basis of what they make their living from in a lot of cases, or just dinner.
Yeah.
So you don't really want to have trash dinner, do you?
And in terms of hotels, so like there's tons of hotels here, and you can pay pretty much anywhere from about 60 euro a night all the way up to about 1,000 euro a night, depending on how fancy or unfancy you want it to be. The prices in Türkiye since the last time we've been here have skyrocketed, like legitimately. They've gone through the roof. So in terms of food, easily about 60 60 to 150% increase in a lot of places. So here you'll pay between 300 to about 450 tele for kumru, which is just a basic sandwich. Many places that we've seen along here, you'll pay between 400 plus 400 upwards for things like the durum, which if you are in Izmir, you're going to pay legitimately half of that. So that just has to do with the location. But in terms of the hotels, accommodations, that as well has increased dramatically. So I'm talking like the last time we came here was about 3 years ago, 3.5 maybe. Since then, it's probably been around 150 to about 250% increase in terms of accommodation prices. And I'm not making that up. That's me being fully just transparent with you guys.
This is where the locals jump. You can see everybody is sort of accumulating around here and potentially jumping, but I do think the lady there has a little bit of respect for the jump, of course, because you have lots and lots of rocks around here. So I do think if you jump in the wrong way, you might smack your head off of the ground on a rock.
This is a nice spot here. Have a look at this.
It's a very nice spot though, yeah. So water is crystal clear, and you also have stairs going straight into the water. Oh, up, alle up. So yeah, you don't really have to be scared to get in and out. You don't have to jump if you don't want to, but of course, sort of the local teenagers and early 20-year-olds, they're all gonna try and jump from here. Woo! It's a beautiful spot, and you can also see the Love Atatürk Forever sign over here. Of course, because Atatürk is everywhere in Türkiye, regardless of where you look, you will find Atatürk. I've been thinking about like taking selfies with Atatürk no matter everywhere that we go, and then at the end have like a Atatürk selfie compilation or something like that. That would be really funny. And then here you also have locals beach. It kind of looks like it's more of a local beach. From here I can't really, well, from here everybody looks the same if we're being honest, but I cannot really see Western looking type of tourists, and with Western I mean people like this or people like Luke. I feel like you can distinguish a little bit, at least from further away. It's all kind of more like local scene around here. It doesn't really seem to be tourists.
Yeah, so if you go into the center of Çeşme, there's loads of Chinese tourists, Russians, and people from all over the world actually. And then you come out here to kind of like the outskirts of Çeşme, and it's all just local Turks.
Yeah.
I think a lot of these lads that are jumping in as well are like Syrians and stuff like that, that are just kind of all over from Izmir. They just come here for day trips. Gonna check this place out, the Teke Cafe and Restaurant. By the way, this is something that you need to look out for everywhere that you go if you do visit Türkiye. Belediyesi. So it usually means that it's a part of the local government board, and it's covered by the local sort of district government, and it usually means cheap chai, cheap in general.
Now when we say cheap, I hope that you can see this. For example, for the small tea it's only 20 tele, and for a water it's only 15 tele, and that in the city or in the proximity of Çeşme is really, really crazy to see, because everything else here is about 15 times that money at least.
Have a look at the view that we have here.
Yes, very beautiful and windy, so you might not necessarily hear us.
Feels like we're really living like proper local Turks right now. There is legitimately no English being spoken here, and that's fine by me, because we are very, very happy with the prices here. If you do want to see a dramatic drop in pricing, find where the locals are, especially in places like this, and you'll have a very good time. And by the way, I have to point this out because it's kind of funny, but this here is run by the Çeşme municipality, so a branch of the Çeşme government, city council, yeah, and they don't sell Efes. What? I was saying to Naomi just as we came in here, I was like, you know what, maybe we should get some chai or something. And then I was like, it's a beautiful sunny day. I kind of want like just one Efes.
We haven't had one yet.
We haven't had one yet
since coming back to Turkey. So
yeah. So I was like, oh, maybe an Efes, that would like really quench my thirst right now. I checked the menu and they don't sell it. So now I have to drink Danish beer. This is Carlsberg. Can you believe it?
On the menu, I think it was Carlsberg or Tuborg.
Or Sol.
What is that?
Sol is like a rip-off of Corona.
Sol, like Spanish.
Spanish,
sun?
yeah.
Okay.
I don't think Sol is necessarily Spanish, but it's like a rip-off of the Corona brand. It's like a cheaper version of Corona. And then Tuborg, of all things,
which
I think
is also Danish.
Tuborg is also a Danish beer as far as I'm aware. But hey, Carlsberg will have to do, I guess. Cheers, guys. To all of you watching, we are on holidays. Or at least it feels like we're on holidays. Naomi has cheers,
chai.
A chai.
The biggest chai available.
The biggest chai available, yeah. I said to the guy while I was ordering, I was like, just give us a big chai and a cold Carlsberg. It's not bad. The Danish know what they're doing when it comes to beer for the most part. And have a look at this. I can't get over the views. Everybody down below here on this beach is just basically locals. A lot of them day tripping like we are from Izmir. So I think if you are going to come to Izmir and you do want that day trip opportunity, Çeşme is number one. You also have Alaçatı, you have Urla, you have Foça, you have Şirince, you have Selçuk, you even have Kuşadası is reachable as well from Izmir. So Izmir is like kind of the perfect base if you do want to come and get like a cheap accommodation like we are. Like in Izmir we're paying €27 per night. You're not gonna be able to pay €27 per night here in Çeşme, but we can still come out here and enjoy the beach because we're proper cheapos when it comes to accommodations.
Yeah, and it also smells like holiday here. You can just smell like the SPF in the air. It smells like Nivea SPF or something like that. Ah, crazy.
It's amazing. I love it.
The cats in Turkey really have like I don't know what it is. It's an odd default setting where they just jump on you and they're like, we're gonna cuddle now.
So cute. Wow.
I think you have a proper grease filter on this one.
Do I? Here you go.
If you do come to Çeşme for a day trip and you want to get changed and also shower and all of that jazz, you can also come to the city council place because they have showers, changing rooms and everything that you need really. So I could actually get changed and we can go for a little dip. I'm still wearing my Doc Martens, but that's okay. I might have sandy feet for the rest of the day, but that's fine. Ooh, cold. So cold. Wait, you go past. Luke is still up there sorting out his stuff. Don't forget the cards in your pants. Okay. Oh, it's fresh. Fresh cold. Fresh and cold. Oh. If you go in, oh my god, it's so cold. If you go in through the ladders, by the way, there's nowhere to stand, so you do have to swim. But just over there is the beach where we just were. We just thought it would be smarter because we have to put our shoes back on in a few to not have all of that sand basically directly in our shoes. Sorry, Luke keeps asking me if it's cold from back there. I'm trying to do a talking track and Luke is like, is it cold? Is it cold? Is it cold? Yeah, is it cold? Yes, it is. Well, it's not cold, but it's like also not warm. Let's say it like that. In comparison to the outside, it's a bit fresh, yeah. It's kind of like yesterday it was 39 Celsius outside in Izmir, so I think it might be a little bit colder here because you have more of a breeze going here. It might be like, I don't know, 35, 36 or so outside, and then the water is probably around 25. So there's a little bit of a difference, but it's not like groundbreaking difference, if you know what I mean.
Oh, it's bloody cold. Oh, 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 cold. Oh yeah. Oh. Oh. Nice. Oh. Çok güzel. Ah, this is beautiful. Your body gets used to the cold pretty quickly. It's nice. This is beautiful. And yeah, the water is beautiful and nice and clean too. It's quite clear, relatively clear. I don't know if it's like snorkeling level clear. Yeah, this place is very beautiful. I have to say, I can see the appeal of Çeşme. Look at that. And you can see off in the distance Chios in Greece. And the beach literally just wraps around all of here as well. Yeah. People are literally just setting up tents. So like they bring tents, umbrellas, sorry, not tents. They bring umbrellas. They bring on their own umbrellas, setting up and just having like picnics and stuff. So you don't have to go to any of like the fancy restaurants or anything else like that. If you want to live like we do and have like a proper little working class holiday, this is what it is.
Why did you give me the camera? I was not prepared for taking the camera. I was just like in the back like
I don't trust myself enough.
I think there's a boat coming, so I think there might be a bit of a wave coming our way as well. Maybe better to hold on to the metal stairs while that...
There's gonna be some waves.
It doesn't look so big, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna make all of the waves.
That was a refreshing little dip by the seaside, I have to say. Whoop, I just nearly booted someone's slippers into the sea there. Very nice though. The water itself is a little bit chilly, but it's manageable. We went for a little bit of a trip about a week ago to Akçay. We didn't actually film any videos in Akçay because, to be honest, it's a little bit too sleepy of a place. We didn't really see what we could film in there, but it was a nice like sleepy seaside town, and the water there was so unbearably cold that we couldn't actually get in to swim. But here it's not the case. It's actually quite manageable. You just have to basically get yourself in and then you're immediately used to it. But I have to say, Çeşme, it's close to the top of the list for us when it comes to beach destinations in Türkiye. I think if we had to categorize beach destinations for us, Çeşme is up there, Fethiye is definitely up there, and probably Kuşadası as well. We also went to Antalya.
Didn't do a video
We
there
didn't
either.
make a video there. We went to Antalya. Now keep in mind we were there the last time we were in Turkey, which is over 3 years ago. And I'm going to be entirely honest with you. Antalya, in terms of a place to live, I'm sure there's plenty of opportunities there when it comes to tourism and stuff. But for us, it's just too much. There's too much. It's too hectic. It's kind of just all over the place, and I'm gonna be honest as well, it's just rammed full of Russians, and it's just kind of overdone, if we're being honest. So that wasn't the most positive place for us. Çeşme is much nicer.
I think Çeşme is probably for us anyway. We haven't seen all of the beach destinations in Turkey. There's lots and lots more. Of course, Turkey has a very, very long coast too, actually. But in terms of Fethiye as well, I think Fethiye is really nice if you don't go during the main tourist seasons. So if you go to Fethiye kind of like in June or something like that, or then in September, it's super nice. If you go during the month of August, it's also very, very overrun. At least the last time we were there, we were very lucky with our accommodation there, so we weren't really in like the main tourist hotspots, which made it a lot nicer. But I think if you're like bang in the center, it's probably as well a little bit too much in Fethiye, I would say.
Yeah, just manage the time that you go to these places. But Çeşme right now, it is the 18th of July when we're filming this video, because a lot of times people ask us, when did you go to this place, when did you film? It's the 18th of July today, Friday the 18th of July 2025, and as of right now, hello. As of right now, it's really not that busy. I was actually expecting, when we came here today on the day trip from Izmir, I was expecting hordes of tourists filling the beaches. But that beach that we were just on, or that little pier that we were swimming in, there was like a handful of people at it, and then the beach next to it, there was probably like 40, 50 local Turks. So I don't know what's going on. I think the tourism numbers, I have no idea if this is correct, but it seems like the tourism numbers at the moment are not very high at the moment, and I think it has to do, to be honest, and I think a lot of Turks will agree with me on this, Turkey's gotten expensive. I was talking about it earlier in this video, like, cost of hotels, pretty crazy. There's a lot of inflation. A lot of Turkish people have been actually telling us firsthand as well, they're struggling to keep up with a lot of stuff. It's not just Turkey that's an issue in, it's actually an issue in all of Europe right now, and a lot of North America too. So it's just, it is what it is. But at least you have this at your doorstep here in Turkey. You don't have absolute crap at your doorstep like you do in Ireland, where I'm from.
I do think as well that even though there are very, very little tourists, that the type of tourists that are coming changed a lot as well. So like the last time we were here, I know you probably hear the engine of this diving boat right now. The last time we were here, it was lots of Germans, lots of sort of English people, Irish people, kind of like a mix of the entire West and Central Europe, I want to say. This time around there seem to be lots of Asian tourists, funnily enough, but all of the other tourists are not here.
Loads of Japanese people in
Japanese, Chinese, yeah, some Koreans and stuff, like, but not the tourists that you would necessarily expect in this exact place. I wonder where the Central and Western European summer hotspot is this year, if not at home, because nobody can afford to go on holiday.
That's the thing, yeah, no one can afford to go on holidays anymore.
Where are you going, boy?
It's a pirate dog.
I think he might be dead. Oh, this is really very dark.
Yeah, it's okay though.
Is it lighting up?
It's fine.
We found this nice little köfte place. It's called Kazan Köfte, in case you can see it there. And we were kind of walking down directly at the marina, and all of the sort of restaurants, just köfte, no drink, was like 700 TL for one dish, which is, I don't know, I believe like 16 euro or something like this. And then right here you can get a köfte and the ayran for 250 TL. And we each have gotten a köfte and a cola for 300 each, and that's like less than half the price. So if you are in and around Çeşme, just make sure to walk around a little bit and have a look around what there is on offer.
Kazan köfte, by the way, is a traditional Turkish style of making the köfte. It's usually like a sort of a long bread with the köfte on it, and it's cooked in like tomato and garlic and everything else. I'm not too entirely sure, but it is a traditional Turkish way of doing the köfte. It's not like a normal köfte ekmek. We figured we'd try it out here. It's popular particularly in the Aegean and Marmara regions of Türkiye, so can't wait to try this out. And trust us, being typical cheap tourists, We came to the place because it's a reasonable price. It's only 300 lira for the combo with the cola and the kofta, so you can't really go wrong. Considering around the corner it's like 500, 600, up to like 1,000 plus lira for something similar. So I think we'll stay here for now.
Oh my god. We've had nearly nothing to eat, just like a sandwich early this morning actually, and now it's 5:30, so we're both starving. And this actually looks really nice, and it looks like nothing that we had so far in Turkey. Do you want to give it a try?
You know what it reminds me of, weirdly enough? If there's anybody watching, and I don't know if there's many Polish people that are interested in Turkey travel videos, but this looks like a zapiekanka, like a Polish pizza called zapiekanka or zapiekanki, I'm not sure. But if you look it up, just type it into Google. I'll actually, when I'm editing this video, I'm gonna try my best to put a picture of a zapiekanka. This is exactly what it looks like. But it just looks to be like a proper nice little, kind of like an open sausage roll, and then they have pickles and everything else. Not so little, yeah. Kind of like a foot long. That is really good. So, the kofta, just proper meaty texture, very, very tasty. Pickle here on the top, like a long, proper gherkin pickle. It's real, like kind of acidic. They put some cheese and a little bit of parsley as well over the top, and some tomato. There's like tomato sauce and actual slices of tomato as well. This is serious. Very, very good.
I'm so hungry.
And the bread as well is crispy.
Oh yeah, super crispy bread. Sorry you guys, I'm so hungry. That was basically only bread. I didn't get any of the filling. It's good though.
A little bit of pickle, yeah.
A little bit of pickle. Heck yeah. I need a second bite to make a statement. Oh yeah. This is beautiful. I don't know if you can see that maybe on the sides a little bit. There's kind of like pepper, bell pepper type, like what is it called? Pepper powder.
Yeah, like paprika.
Paprika, like paprika on the top. That was too easy for me. That was too close to German, so I was like, this is not paprika. It's super, super tasty. The cheese on top is nice and salty. You have the beautiful pickles in there as well. I'm gonna eat this in 0.05 seconds.
It's legitimately heaven. And it's, yeah, well bigger than my head. You get one of these and a Coke for 300 lira. That's an absolute bargain, considering that we're literally sitting at the marina, the Çeşme marina. So if you're looking for somewhere to have food in Çeşme that's not gonna completely, like you won't have to take a mortgage out to get the meal, Kazan kofta. Not bad at all. Can you tell I enjoyed it?
I ate in the same velocity as Luke, and you know it's good.